Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
It's 7 in the morning. And it's not 7, but it's close. And
it's 7 somewhere.
It's 7 a.m. somewhere. And my love, my sister, my bestie, you need this shot. And
I need this shot.
Very happy to join you. So cheers.
Thank you so much.
And we'll explain why in a minute.
Yes.
We're going all the way in.
Hi, I'm Cynthia.
I'm Crystal. This is Humble Brag.
Humble brag.
Humble Brag.
Oh, I have tea.
Once a housewife,
Always a housewife. Can we say that again for the people in the back?
Humble Brag.
Humble brag. Brag with us. Woo!
Good morning.
I love tequila. Vodka, whatever it is.
Woo!
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever.
You're having a morning.
I am having a morning.
Understandably. So I'm gonna just let you open up
Okay. All right.
this morning.
So, I may have to get another shot. I don't know if I'm ready. I need one more shot. I thought one was going to be enough. I think I need one more.
Whoa. Okay. I don't know.
Well, I'm just feeling very emotional.
I get it. By the way, you need one shot per thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because I got two things
You got two
happening
things
today. Yeah.
But I'm here for you, and I got your back. And I got your back because we're just going to be really honest and truthful about it all. As we always
I
are.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
It just started rolling down my
No,
chest.
you can feel it burning. Yeah.
It's now in my
It feels good.
It's slow. I thought to myself, whoa, it's like, it's all warm right now. I'm feeling warm and toasty and.
Yeah, it feels good. That means activating.
Yes, I need the shot for you, actually, because I feel your energy.
Yes. You owe me a shot.
I do.
Because you watched me get shot. I
did. And I'm kind of to
feeling
blame.
a little beat up this morning.
I know. And I'm actually a little bit to blame. Because I was like, oh, let's squash it. Let's talk about it. But, I really go under that was vodka.
Oh,
I was like, what is this cheap tequila? So it's vodka. Okay, well, that makes more sense. Oh, my God. Well, Tito's is handling us today.
I'm going to have one more, and then I'm ready to let it freaking rip.
Whoa.
Let's go.
I'm going to have a half because I'm not feeling as edgy as my girl here. But the fact that I'm having one and a half.
Well, you don't need it, honey. You just came off private yacht for 10 days.
That's right. So I'm just going to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
I'm going to sip this while you go.
Okay, you can sip yours. I'm going to sip this one, actually, and let it slowly burn into my body. You don't need a shot. Your ass has been on a private yacht for 10 days.
I know. And
you told me it was 7. You kept saying it was 7, but I felt like it was more like 15 days.
So, okay, it was 7 nights on the boat, but it's like a day travel back. So it was really kind of 8.
I feel like you were gone forever.
I really was.
I was like, get your ass back already. I was already looking doing interviews to hire a new host. I was like, because if I was on that boat the way it looked, I don't think I would.
You wouldn't be back here either.
No, girl, you would be here on your own.
I would probably not be here if she allowed me to stay and move in. But we're gonna do all that stuff because we're gonna get through the nitty gritty now.
Let's do it.
So tell me how you're feeling.
So I'm feeling very emotional because my only wish in life is to just be understood. I honestly, wholeheartedly just choose peace in every situation. But for some reason, the drama, the conflict, the chaos finds me. And
you're like a honey
freaky,
to a bee.
Thank you for that. Exactly. And our last podcast with Chanel.
I'll let you point at the couch.
Well, she's not even here, but I'm just going to, I still actually see her. It's like she never left. Okay? I can see her just as clear as day in her leopard bodysuit.
Yes.
Looking fabulous. So I really was excited to have Chanel on when you invited her to the podcast because we have, been around each other and we've had good times around each other. And I honestly, genuinely think she's amazing TV. She's such a fun, big personality, all of the things. So I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? We had our little moment. Let's just squash it and move on. And I'm the kind of person, if I feel like you're not hearing me, you're not feeling what I'm trying to say, then I just want to be very clear. That's very important to me. I'm not the kind of person that really, I don't have a huge personality. I keep saying that. So I'm not going to be the loudest person in the room. And I'm not going to just get straight to it. I really want to want the picture. I need the picture to be painted.
Yeah.
If someone's coming at me about anything, backstory is everything.
Right.
Backstory is everything. So, and then when we get to it and get through it, like, sometimes I have to sit with things. It's very hard to like let things go. And I feel like if I'm in a situation where, I'm coming from a place of like positivity and love, and then I feel that it shifts, then I have to meet people where they are. And the only reason why I'm sitting in the chair across from you doing Humble Brag is because I love that it's such a safe, positive, fun, silly space to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about doing this pod. And if it ever turns into something different, like that's just not a happy place for me. It just isn't.
Yeah.
And I felt like, throughout our conversation, I felt like at the end we got to where we needed to go, but I feel like there was just way more back and forth than it needed to be to just kind of get there. At the end of the day, I apologize profusely. I made that very clear. Like, hey, I want to squash this.
Yes.
I want to have fun. I want to get to the other side. I love resolution. Like, didn't think it was that deep, but if it hurt you, I apologize. And I felt like my character, I'm very protective of my character, my brand, who I am, how I represent myself.
As you should be.
Representation is everything. And no one's ever going to be like, oh, yeah, Cynthia, yeah, she's going to be the one to come after you or whatever. This is not who I am. It's not a place that I have fun in.
Yeah.
It's like one of the reasons why I probably wasn't the best housewife in the world, because I just honestly don't do well with conflict.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't. So,
by the way,
anyway.
how we connected.
And that's
is
why
that I always say I'm not the best housewife.
And that's why you are my person.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you feel the same way, and you feel my pain, and you feel my just not being comfortable.
Yeah.
We've talked about that.
So tell me what's making you uneasy today.
What's making me uneasy today is I feel like in my attempt to just be very clear and paint the picture of my history with Chanel, to really give some context to the story, I felt like some people took it like, oh, I'm not really letting go. I feel like it wasn't clear, and I can't stand it. I can't stand when I'm misunderstood in that way. It's like, look, this could have been a 2-second conversation for me.
Yeah.
I could not have been happier. But what I'm not going to do is be in a space that's our space and not be clear about the entire situation.
Right. Context.
You know what I mean? It's
I think
if you're painting this picture of, hey, this is like someone who I'm like best of friends with and whatever. Like, I honestly, for me, friendships are important to me. I take pride in people that I really have real connection with, that I really call and talk to, people that I would share my deepest and darkest secrets with. Like, those are my friends. And then I have people that I work with, and I have like acquaintances, and I'm not taking anything from Chanel, but we're still getting to know each other. I've literally hung out with Chanel maybe 2 times.
So let me give some context to the listener. So when Chanel was, if you guys should listen to the episode, but what started the conflict was that she felt that you slighted her despite being close friends. And I remember when I had talked to her and I had talked to you, it was very clear to me that you guys had just gotten together a couple times. And in fact, I had to explain to her, well, you don't really know Cynthia well. This is not who she is. So that to me told me that you guys weren't close, that like you guys had spent a couple times together, and that like she needed to know really who you were. And that was sort of my job to sort of marry that. And then I know that it was important for you on the pod and not in the pod, just seeing her was like, while you really admire her and you always give her flowers, it's like the reason why it wasn't such a big deal was because like, it wasn't serious. First of all, it wasn't meaningful because you guys don't have any history.
No,
you don't really know each other.
Right.
And I think that that's what got kind of lost listening to the pod last week was that it's like her feelings were so hurt on a level that seemed like you guys were close. Like if that happened to me today, if you went out and said whatever,
right.
By the way, I would still call you and be like, I would move on. But like for her, I was like, you guys don't even really know each other that well. Nonetheless, she apologized to you because that's not who she is.
Right.
But it wasn't a big deal because it wasn't even like you guys aren't like best friends that like she threw under the bus like that. It wasn't like that. So I think it's really important that, you know, seeing, you know, there's definitely comments of like that you went too hard or whatever. And I think just like Housewives, just like what you're about to talk about with what happened on Atlanta, is that it's impossible to give full context. You just get the snippets.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Even on our own podcast in which we control the situation, you still only get the snippet of what happened.
Right.
You don't get really deep history. And I think that's what is that's why we connect, because it's so important to us, because it would explain so much of the last 11 years of you on the show and the last 3 years that I did it, was every time you watch it, you're like, you want to shake someone. Like there's so much more context that would explain why things are happening. And at the end of the day, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So I think that that's what's so hard is like, even in our own bubble, our safe bubble, there's not enough context. But I will say that like, it's not warranted, that people don't really get, like, they don't really get that, like why you were defending yourself. And because it's important that you, and me, I'm the same type of person, that you want everyone to really understand. If you really understood the entire perspective and picture, you would then get your point. And so I think Chanel was not really hearing that. She was not really like, she's like, well, this is how I feel in this moment. But you're like, but there's also the whole circular part around it, that it's like, your feelings are so intensely hurt.
Right.
But it's actually not warranted, because you guys really have only met 2 or 3 times. And, but nonetheless, I know that you are someone that apologizes. Like you really,
oh my God.
You went above.
I'm the only one that apologized.
You went above and beyond to apologize. And because I think you're like me in that like acts of service, your apology went so far to like get her a hotel here and do all these things.
Send her my glam recommend, whatever.
You
like,
did it
whatever
all for
she
her.
wants. Like, I am completely here. If she called me right now and said, hey, I need A, B, and C, I'd be like, where, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying?
But I think the PSA of this whole thing is that listening to a pod and watching a show like this, and there's always, you're only getting a small percentage of actually what's happening. And I think people should like watch the show that way. And when, you know, your shows particularly right now, that there's so much more context. But I think I would feel the same way that you're feeling. Like, why don't people get it? And it's at the end of the day, you just have to sometimes let it go. Like they're never going to get it. It's almost not no one's fault, because unless you're in it and here in this moment, I'm the only one that knows full context.
Right. For sure.
You know? And so when, you know, people are like, oh, well, like Cynthia's coming hot. I'm like, no, I was here. That's not how it happened. Correct. Chanel came in very hot. But I knew she's a high energy, you know, like she brings a lot. But I called her the other day. I was like, you know, you're the one that really was the one that came for you. And she goes, I know. And I'm just going to say this out loud. We were very kind to that podcast. So we were very kind. And because that's who we are.
Yeah. Well, listen.
And that's who you are. You're willing to,
regardless of the situation, I always want to just give flowers and give grace and give love and receive that on the other end.
Yeah.
And I think that in this case, I'm around so many situations and people that just really actually go above and beyond to really not give grace. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And when you're one of the good ones, the ones who actually like, oh my God, I'm such an empath. Like this actually, like, I don't want to really be in this situation, but I'm in it. So let me address it. Let me apologize. Let me make it clear what happened, because it was important for me, not just for the listeners, just for her to like leave with clarity, because this is not like we haven't texted and I've like, you know, we've had conversations about this. So it just felt like really new when she came. Yeah. Like this was like the first time, as if we're not staying in the same hotel that I just put her in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, what is happening? But what I do love about the what happened in the situation is I got so much backstory on her life and her, you know, very humble beginnings and just life. I mean, she shared a lot of things about her, how she even came to be Chanel Ayan.
Yes.
And it made me understand her a lot more. It made me definitely have more compassion and love for her because she has not had an easy life.
You have so much empathy and compassion for people. And I know people are like, oh, it's her podcast, whatever you're going to say. You just deserve your flowers in that way. But that's why I had said to her, like, do you think that your reactions, defensiveness stems from that? And I think that's what the podcast was, what really revealed.
Yeah.
She called me 2 days ago while I was on my boat, I said my boat, oh my God. Manifesting on the boat. And she said, this is the most amazing podcast. I'm sitting here listening with my son. We're crying and laughing. I've never
crying and laughing.
Yeah. I've never shared so much. You really brought out who I was. And I said, I just want you to remember, like, you really came in hot. And I think that is a protective mechanism for you because you're so hurt by your history. Yeah. So your outwardness is big and I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy. But I'm like, sometimes you need to tap into, like, it's okay to feel those feels and then say, like, but guess what? I come out from the ashes, right? This is who I am. And I think that her coming is like out so strong is like the defensiveness against you. It's like, I'm this way. I want to be good.
Yeah.
I want to be, I'm happy. I'm
well,
this.
I think she said it best. She wants to be loved.
Yeah.
She wants to be loved.
Yeah.
And I think, love. And I think that's when it resonated with me. Like, that's when I got Chanel.
Yeah.
I was like, this is about love.
Yes.
And I'm all about love.
Yes.
I was like,
but you're also, like you said, when we started this, you're all about understanding. Yeah. You want to be seen correctly.
Yeah.
And so
and if I'm wrong, I'll sit in it.
That's
if I'm wrong, I am dead wrong.
But
when
it's
I
so
tell
important to you.
If I feel like I'm actually coming in a space of like, hey, I want to get on the other side of this. I like you. I'm looking forward to building a friendship with you.
Yeah.
All of the things. And then it goes left. Then it's like, wait a minute. Like, that was not my intention.
Of course.
And intention is very important to me because I have no reason not to like this fabulous woman. She's
right.
great.
Right.
And she's, great friends with you. Like, it just would be like no reason for me to be like, hey, I don't want to be around her. Like, what I'm saying?
I'm just going to wrap it up and say that if anyone ever sees you as anything other than absolutely amazing, thoughtful, compassionate, empathetic, it's because they don't see you properly.
Thank you.
I would never sit here hours a day working with someone that I didn't absolutely adore and love and respect because I don't need to. To be frank,
no,
I don't need to spend my days like that. I don't need to do any of this. I do this because I want to be here and because I'm excited to sit here and share stories with you and tell you about my ridiculous life.
I look forward to it. I do.
It's the best thing I've ever done. Honestly, anything that I've actively chosen in my life, this is the best thing. And if anyone ever says anything negative to you about you, I will defend you to the ground because you come from such a good place. And I think that what we share in like the experience of housewives is like, it's so limited of what people get to see from us. And even in this moment, even when we get this platform, sometimes we're still misunderstood.
Yeah.
Right. But we're here to support each other and shed light to people that don't really get it yet. And it's not their fault because it's like they only get to know what they know. Right. But I'm here to say this, that all that negativity is because they don't see what's really happening. And you are just spectacular and you don't deserve to ever feel anything other than that because you're just the best. Like, I literally am so obsessed with you. I love you so much. And I'm sad that you feel sad about it, but I love where we ended up with the pod. I love that you guys came to a place and the fact that she called me and said, this is the best thing I've ever done.
That makes me so happy. You have no idea.
Yeah. She's like, oh, all I do is talk about the shows and whatever. And I'm like, no. She said she never told the story about her ripped uniforms. She didn't remember it. She said she kind of forgot about the pod, like what she was saying.
No, she was very open.
Yeah.
I love that we did get to that space where she felt really safe and comfortable to just really share things that she's never shared before with us. I thought that was really powerful. I thought, like, again, for anyone that doesn't really know, it's all about layers.
Yeah.
Like, you see what you see, and then you peel and you peel, and it's like, what was this person like as a child?
But that's a testament to you, because no matter how tough the beginning of the conversation was, the fact that she opened up and said that was the most vulnerable she's ever been in her life to share with you says how much growth that was
Yeah.
just in that conversation. She would have
Yeah.
never said that to you if she felt any negativity.
Oh, no,
towards
for
you.
sure. The hugs were real. The tears, I felt like, were real.
Yeah.
And I really, cannot stop, the vision of her as this little girl selling bananas to help support a family.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I will never forget that story.
Yeah. Eating nutrient-dense meals is key to feeling great, but let's be real, healthy food gets a bad rap for being bland. But with Cook Unity, healthy doesn't mean boring. They've got incredible meals for every diet, keto, gluten-free, even GLP-1 balance, so you can crush your health goals without sacrificing flavor. And these meals are next level. They're crafted by award-winning chefs using fresh, in-season ingredients packed with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. And the best part, they come fresh, not frozen, straight to your door. I tried the pan-seared Cajun salmon with green beans and peppers from Chef Andre Mendez, and wow, it was so good. The flavors are incredible, and it actually kept me full and energized all day. No snacking, no sugar crashes, just solid, satisfying meals. And I love that Cook Unity makes it so easy to eat well without the hassle of meal prep. You just heat it up, and in minutes, you've got a restaurant-quality dish for a fraction of the price. So if you want to hit your weight goals, eat better, and actually enjoy your meals, you have to try Cook Unity. Crush your health goals with mouth-watering, chef-created meals delivered straight to your door. Go to cookunity.com/humble and enter HUMBLE before checkout for 50% off your first week. That's 50% off your first week by code HUMBLE or going to cookunity.com/humble.
All right, let's talk about one of my favorite food hacks, finding bread that actually fits my health goals without sacrificing taste. That's where Hero Bread comes in.
Yes, I love my breakfast sandwiches, but I wanted a better option. Hero Bread's bagels, game changer. They're soft, fluffy, and have 4 grams of net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and 19 grams of protein, so I can enjoy them guilt-free.
Same. I've been using their tortillas for meal prep enchiladas and wraps, and honestly, you'd never know they're ultra-low net carb and high in fiber from the taste.
That's what's wild. No weird texture, no cardboard vibes, just real baked goods. From sliced bread to bagels, tortillas, and even dinner rolls, Hero Bread makes sure all my favorite meals are covered.
And let's talk about those small batch drops, the Hero Croissant with just 2 grams net carbs. I need to try that next.
Same. So if you're ready to upgrade your bread game, Hero Bread is giving 10% off your order.
Go to hero.co and use the code HUMBLE at checkout. That's HERO.co, code HUMBLE for 10% off.
Let's face it, weight loss can be overwhelming. That's why Hers is changing the game by providing access to GLP-1 medications plus expert care. They make your goals more achievable. Hers is transforming women's healthcare by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans delivered straight to your door if prescribed. Hers offers a holistic weight loss program with personalized solutions, including compounded GLP-1 weekly injections featuring the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medication kits. After submitting an online intake form, a licensed medical provider will determine what plan is best for you. If prescribed, your program includes medication, ongoing care, and online support, all at one low cost. Weight loss plans are more affordable through Hers, with compounded GLP-1 injections starting at $165 per month with a 12-month plan paid upfront for new subscribers. No hidden fees and no membership fees. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time for you to find the best option that works for you through Hers. Start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/humble. That's FORHERS.com/humble for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/humble. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchase. So I love you, and
I love
Lisa
you
and
too.
Chanel her flowers.
Yes, we do.
And thank you for opening up and sharing about that. I know it's tough.
Yeah,
You have
I
more
like
stuff.
literally didn't even want to talk about it,
I
but
know.
it's like, again, as an empath, I love to like button things up in a way where everyone's happy
Yeah.
and we can just move on and skip
Yes.
on into our happy lives.
By the way,
So
you couldn't not talk about it because your energy
I know energy doesn't
reads,
lie. You know, I'm like a huge energy person.
you're
So
huge. And the minute I walked in this room,
oh,
it
I was like,
was,
my blood pressure was actually high today because I had it checked when I got here because I was doing some stuff with Weight Watchers today and they needed to check my blood pressure and it was high. It's never high.
right, because you really feel it.
Oh my
You're
God,
feeling it all.
why am I such
I'm
a
hoping that
Pisces?
helped. I'm hoping this.
It did help. Thank you so much. Thank
Okay.
you so much for seeing me, for understanding. I love that you were here
I was here for
as
it all.
sort of a, a mediator. And I know that your intention was for us to just literally, like we always laugh about, like just say what we need to say and go have margaritas after.
Yeah. I just feel like it's really healthy because I've spent most of my adult life sort of hiding from things and like
Yeah.
pretending and smiling. And then all it does is you just take in that
Mhm.
energy and negativity
Internalize
and
it.
internalize it. And
And it just festers.
yes. And it's terrible for your body.
Mhm.
So unhealthy. It actually makes you sick.
It does.
And at the end of the day, you know who you are. I know who you are. And that is what matters. But I get the like, I want everyone to see, like, that was so hard for me for 3 years on the show. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want people to see, like, I'm a good person and I'm
Yeah.
doing everything I can to like do the right things and I make mistakes, but like the intention is good. And I think that that's so important for you that people know where your intention is.
Oh, absolutely. And for me, it's you don't have to like me. Just understand me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because
By the way, if
everyone
they understand you, they'll like you. That's how I was, but I feel that way about myself. I'm like,
Yeah,
if you
for sure.
really
to know
knew
you
me,
is definitely to
like
love
you
you,
know
for
that
sure.
you would like me because I care about people. Like
Yeah.
I care, I want good for everybody, and I know that for you. So, okay, so we got that done.
We got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I love you. I love you, baby.
So much.
I love you.
And even though, you know, I'm a little emotional about the whole situation, I'm glad that it happened. And then I also feel like we're on a clean slate and we can just move forward.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think
praise
you
God.
guys taught a lot of listeners how to resolve conflict.
Yes, I hope
And
so.
to really be vulnerable and express yourself, but do it in a way that's really just honoring how you feel. It's not about them, right? It's like you were feeling this way because you want to be seen. And you're not like, I need you
We're
to
more
see me.
heard. Yeah.
Yes, and
Like-
heard and like how you feel. And I think that was so, I mean, conflict resolution is something I think everyone can learn from.
It's just so much. It's just something to say that like we live in a world like our TV world. Like when I tell you, they don't lose any sleep over stuff like this.
Right.
The fact that I'm sitting here having tequila shots to just even get through my day shows that
You feel it all.
I feel it all. And you know, I don't want to ever like intentionally just hurt anyone.
No.
I really don't.
No.
And it like pisses me off sometimes because I'm like, how do these other people do it? Like they literally like, you know, blow your head off
Yeah.
and they're good and
me tell
nobody
you-
cares. Like they don't, you know,
I
nobody
used-
cares that they don't have empathy. Nobody cares they don't have compassion. They just go on and they make it look so easy when it's like,
I know.
when you're dealing with people's feelings, people's emotions, you know, it should be considered. Like
when I
if
filmed
they're
the
hurt.
show, I was so envious of the girls who could do that. And I'm going to tell you something.
Me
I'm so glad
too.
I'm not
Me
that way.
too.
Let me
Me too.
tell you.
Well,
You and I will never be that way, but I'm so glad.
like
I'm not
why
that
aren't
way.
like why didn't we get that gene where we can just be like, oh, I don't care, oh, whatever. Like I said, I wish instead of it being a 20-minute conversation, it was a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
That we could have just buttoned it up and moved on.
But guess what? It's not just about you. Don't forget. That's the thing. Like you think it's just you. She has to let it go too. And it could have been 5 minutes if she did. But she was also in her feelings and she was
Yeah.
also wanting to be understood. And that's the thing. It's like,
Yeah, I get it.
it's always more complicated than people think.
So complicated.
Yes. And emotions are real, but I would much rather feel it all than not feel anything. Honestly, like I'm sure I know we envy that because we want to protect our hearts and our minds and our souls. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's healthy. And I think those people will live a very toxic life. I do. I really
Yeah.
think people that I think that's why people get sick. I honestly, I know it's a weird thing to say, but I think it permeates your body.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on because we need to get to the fun stuff because you have
I
other
have one more
shit.
thing.
I know you do.
I have one more thing. Okay, as if this was not enough. Okay. So, and I'm gonna actually switch gears a little bit on this.
Okay.
So, as a housewife of Beverly Hills, and I know Beverly Hills is very different from Atlanta, like night and day, because Atlanta is Atlanta, baby.
I'm caught up. Yeah. So,
and you're caught up with the episode, right? With all the episodes.
Yes, because now that I've done the show, I now can put myself in it. I don't watch it like a normal watcher, right?
Yes.
I'm like dying. My blood pressure's up because I watch a show.
I got our blood pressure up too. Oh my God. Yeah. So my question to you is, when you are doing confessionals.
Yes.
Okay. And you're asked certain questions.
Yeah.
And you know the truth, but you just want to give the person some grace, but you want to answer the question in a way that is light.
Yes.
Hopefully funny. Because I always think fun shade is definitely always better than mean shade.
Yeah. For
sure. Like I can't get down with mean shade. And just like literally get it out of your mouth without like totally hurting the person's feelings.
Yeah, of course.
How did you deal with, were you in situations like that on Beverly Hills? And how did you deal with that? Because I have a situation I need to talk about.
Okay. I've talked about this already, so I don't feel like I'm exposing, but my very, very, very first confessional, and I kind of feel sad saying this out loud, but I just have to be honest because I think people loved it so much. So they're like, oh, Crystal's our girl. She was the coolest. But I have to be honest, I didn't write it. So, they ask you questions. You don't, so I want to give the BTS of how confessionals work.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because this is what we do. We just
I'm assuming everybody knows what we're talking about when we're talking about confessionals.
So confessionals, I would say, we film about 3 to 4 months, right?
Yes.
Confessionals start about at 2 months, 2.5 months, right? So what they do is you film the show and they start editing as the show as a show starts filming.
Right.
And you actually do confessionals all the way through while it airs. Like confessionals can last 6 months.
And now we do after shows now too.
And after shows.
I don't think, were they doing that when you were on
I did after shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I did after shows.
I'm getting ready to start after shows for Atlanta, which I will probably have to explain.
Okay, let's talk about after shows. Oh my God, this will be a great episode because I think you guys really like BTS and like understanding the show. So with being respectful to the show, but like we're going to tell you how it works. Well, I don't know if it's respectful, whatever. So sorry, whenever who's out there listening.
No, I think it's good. I mean, I think we live in a world where the fourth wall is broken.
Well,
already.
we saw that on the episode this
Portia
week.
Broke the fourth wall.
I mean, it was very much, the whole thing was fourth wall.
She burned down that fourth wall.
Yeah, she did.
She's like, where's the gasoline? Lit up a cigarette and burned it all the way down.
Bravo has a team building a fifth wall right now, like whatever it is. Like they're out there with their hammers. So the way it works, so like let's say you start filming for like 4 or 5, 6 weeks, then you get the call, we're going to book your first confessional. So clearly they've already been editing those first month, a few weeks, whatever. So you sit there and it's not like 8 months ago. So that one is closer, but it's probably not a lot has happened because they're only talking about the first episode.
Right.
So, but you don't get to see anything.
No.
So you're sitting in front of whatever you called it. You said you have like a teleprompter.
Not a teleprompter, but a monitor.
Monitor. Yes. But which is not, there's no teleprompter.
Yeah.
So there's a producer that sits in a little chair in the dark right behind the camera and you're facing the camera and they're like, okay. So it's like, you're at, whose party was it?
We were at Shamia's birthday party.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're at Shamia's and Portia says, like you're a scoundrel, whatever word she used. It was like, I actually just laughed. But I think it was scoundrel. I don't know. Because I remember it was like, you're a dirty something,
she was like,
something.
She told Drew that she was a low down, dirty individual.
Low down, dirty. Okay, yeah. Because I think of dirty, rotten scoundrels. So I thought scoundrels. So here I am making up words. But yeah, you're like, they'll say like, how do you feel about that? So then you're like, I can't believe she said that, right? But you have to kind of relive it.
Right.
But you don't get to watch it. There's no cameras. You don't get to see any history.
No, it's just questions.
Yeah, so it's questions like that.
And you have to remember, because for me, like as soon as I walk out of a scene, I forget everything that happened most
because
of the time.
You've already filmed 6 weeks already.
Yeah.
So it's hard to remember what that relationship was.
Yeah, and
because
you have a whole life going on outside of the show.
Right.
So to remember everything verbatim, which is really tricky and really important for a show like this, I spend most of my time in my confessionals going, okay, what did they say exactly?
Me
so
too.
what exactly happened? Because I want to make sure I get this right. I don't want to say anything like that's not accurate.
Not right. Yeah. Because half of the tape is me too.
Yeah.
What? And they're like, you don't remember? I'm like, I don't. Just tell me what happened.
Right.
Like,
tell me what happened so I can respond.
Cynthia said this to you, and I was like, okay, then respond. You're like, why did you say that, Cynthia? Like, because you don't really remember.
Yeah.
But so that's sort of how it works. And as you go on throughout the weeks and the months, it all starts to really blur out.
Yeah.
So,
and you actually, low-key, want to forget some of the stuff, actually.
Of course. But I would say some of the girls write it down to remember.
That's probably a good idea, especially for me, because I just literally walk out the door and like,
and I don't think
give it a place and don't even think about it.
That's right.
Anymore.
I don't think it's negative. I think it's actually really good because, like, I remember something they were talking about where, like, you were really sad. Like, you have to, like, in your, your response has to be kind of sad. I go,
well, you have to take yourself back to that place.
Correct.
And if you had, if you did feel sad or you felt like, you just felt an emotional connection to what was happening into the scene, you have to go back to that moment.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So anyways, that's the backstory of how those confessionals work. So you're asking me when I'm in it, like, I was going to say my very first one was I walk into Dorit's house for the barbecue. Everyone's glammed up.
Right.
And my confessional was like, if I don't know you, you're not worth knowing. And that was my very first one. It was the most edgiest, like, but I have to say, I didn't really come up with that.
And who was that shade to, though?
Dorit.
Like, okay, got it.
And I know we're going to talk about this, about what's happening with you right now. I actually texted her.
Yes.
Because they didn't feed me the line. It was more like, well, do you know her? Well, no. Like, well, don't you know everyone in LA? It kind of guided me there.
Right.
And I texted her, I said, I literally was like shocked. I was like, I'm so mortified. I can't believe I said that. And she was very gracious. She goes, girl, we know you didn't come up with that.
Right.
Like, that's not, she's like, you're a scaredy cat.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that was a relief. So there is times where you can
like literally up until it aired, like you were like, oh my God.
Well, I don't remember it. Yeah. I don't remember saying it that way. So
when it aired, when you saw it, you were like...
I was dead. I was dead. I was like, I'm like, goodbye, Rob, say goodbye to the children for me.
Oh my God.
I was done. I couldn't believe just watching myself.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I look so mean and bratty and whatever. But she gave me a lot of grace. She was like, that is not you. And like, she gets a show.
Right.
So sometimes people take it like that. And then other times people...
Which is a blessing.
Which is 1 out of 100.
Yeah.
The rest of it is tough to listen. Watching people talk about you.
Yeah.
Specifically, like, because, that's another thing about confessionals. You have to name people.
Yeah.
Every time you do it, you're like, oh, well, she was this. And they're like, who? Like, Cynthia was this. You have to say their name, right?
You do.
Every time they want you to say.
Name them.
Yeah, name them. I'm like, oh, God. So I'm like, so anyway, does that answer part of your question of like, do you die?
You struggle, but you did make a call. So what happened to me this morning on top of everything else, I'm already like an emotional mess. Like, it's like crazy.
But the liquor's hitting hard right now.
Yeah, the liquor's hitting hard. Yeah, liquor's
yeah, so what happened? Hard. So we just watched the second episode.
I get a text from, we get screeners. So what that is basically before you guys see the show, we usually get a screener of the show, a copy of the show to watch before it actually airs.
When do you get it?
I actually got this one the day before. I got it on Saturday and our show comes on Sunday.
Okay, because we usually get it like 1 to 2 days. Is that normal?
It was like a little late this time. So I got it like
maybe just late
the day
for
before.
You.
And I was like super busy and traveling and crazy and working and stuff. So I get it. And I didn't even get a chance to finish it yet. I actually have to finish it. But it is fun to actually watch it on TV. So I was like, you know what, I'll just watch it. But I knew I got far enough into the episode to see there's this whole thing about like Drew just has like, all these different relationships with a lot of the different women, and they like are constantly calling her a liar and this and that and whatever. And in my own personal experience, Drew has never lied to me about anything. Right. So I thought, you know what, I can protect her in this way and at least give her that, because literally the rest of the cast is like, oh, she's a liar, she's a liar, she's a liar. So I was like, okay, well, so the question comes up, is Drew a liar? or whatever it is. Is Drew a liar?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I'm like,
do you think Drew lied? That's what they probably asked.
Yes.
Do you think Drew lied? That's
whatever
for sure
it was, it was like, okay, so I'm at work, so I have to answer. I have to sit in this confessional and say something. So, and I don't mind doing that, but I still always want to be, again, as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
And I thought the fact that I pointed out that she's never lied to me was helpful.
Yeah.
To her case
Right.
in a lot of ways, because that's not what she's getting from the other cast. Right. So I started off, of course, with my disclaimer. We love a disclaimer around here. Drew has never lied to me. However,
that pause.
However, she has been caught in a fib or two. And I didn't even say the word lie. I was agonizing over the word. I can't say lie.
No,
I just didn't even want to say the word lie. I was like, what's a cute, fun way to say lie? And I was like, fib. That's cute. And
it's better. Fib. Honestly, it's better. Yeah. I don't want to say lie. That's
I don't want to say lie.
No. Because they'll cut that up that's in your meme
because
forever.
That's not my experience with her. So I was like, well, according to like one of the ladies, she's been caught in a fib or two. And then I thought, okay, well, let me just be funny and really make it like light shade. And I was like, or 3. Or 4. Or 5. And then I thought,
that's
I know.
But that's Housewives, honestly. Like that makes it funny.
It is what it
is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, but immediately I was like, now you have like literal like 5 of the shade assassins that have to do interviews, right? I'm just a friend of the show. I'm thinking maybe if the Lord works in my favor, they won't even show that. Well, of course they do. And I do see me said, I'm like, oh my God, Drew's gonna kill me. So,
did you just die? Did you just like your heart sank?
7:00 this morning. Because as soon as I saw it, I was like, shit, I need to call Drew and be like, girl, I was trying to have fun with it. I said that you've never lied to me, whatever. But I just thought maybe she didn't see it. She's a busy woman. She has a new single out. She's singing. She's so talented.
Can I just pause you for a second?
Yes.
I knew she saw it because I saw it before. They used that as one of the clips to promote the episode.
Well, of course they did. Thank you, Bravo. Thank you for that.
I saw that clip like days ago.
Oh my God.
So that, they always throw out like the first 6 minutes and then they do like a little.
And it was in there.
That was the one I saw. So when I saw it, when I actually watched the full episode, I was like, oh, I already see it. They led that in for you.
Okay. Well.
But baby, that's the friend role. You just got to be the funny shade assassin. That's like.
Fun shade, I'm here for. Mean shade, I just can't.
So just so you know, she's been seeing it.
Yeah. Okay. So I wake up this morning. Well, I didn't wake up. I was awakened to a text from Drew.
You're like, shit.
She's like, good morning, Miss Bailey. I was like, I already like the sound of this. She's seen it and she's about to light my ass up. Oh my God. So sure enough, she's like, well, I saw your confessional, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to repeat the whole text. I have just respect for her. But basically, long story short was the text basically said, I saw your text and I'm going to have to send a little smoke your way this morning. I was like, oh shit. How much smoke are we talking about? I'm thinking. So of course I wake my ass right up. Like my morning.
I love that text.
I am so grateful.
I'm sending smoke your way.
She knew. I mean, please let me know if a tsunami's coming my way. Please let me know. And I was like, oh, Lord, please let it be gracious. So I started texting. I was like, oh, I don't want to text because like now text messages like I don't want like a scroll to come out of the reunion. Like, nope. So I pick up the phone, put my big girl panties on. I'm like,
that's called because you're Drew, OG girl.
Sadora.
Your season.
I was like, girl, I knew you were gonna kill me about this, and I know I'm gonna get some smoke. So just go ahead and give it back to me because I definitely put a little hot sauce on the situation.
And how was her response?
We were laughing, and she was like, yep, I got to get you. And I'm like, oh, God. So I don't know. I haven't checked my phone yet, so I don't know if it's happened yet.
I love that. I find that very healthy.
Some major shade is coming my way, but hopefully it's not too much because we did have like a fun conversation. But I was like, I'd never come from a place of like, hey, let me just take Drew out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, let me just throw some sprinkles on here.
By the way, I love that because she feels you're still her friend enough to call
she knows
you.
I'm not trying to take Drew Sadora out by any means.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm the least of her concerns. Trust me. As the season plays out, you will see that I'm like a dot in her life.
I can see
what's happening.
I'm very invested in the season. So, I would I would, first of all, like, if you plucked me into that group, I would have been Homer again, per usual. Yeah, like, oh my God, Portia is, she's fiery.
So
girl.
what are your thoughts on Atlanta so far?
Okay, so you know.
Well, wait, let me close it up.
Yes,
Drew,
close
you know
it up.
I
There's a
love
lot.
you.
Yeah.
Drew Sidora, you know that I love you. I would never, ever, ever, ever want to really put any real exclamation points on anything with you other than love. It was fun shade. And
it didn't
thank you for letting me know that some shade is coming back my way.
Yes.
But you know I love you.
And you made it very clear to me and that you had said that she had never said that to you. It just didn't.
No, she's never lied to me.
It didn't make the cut.
No.
There's only so much room.
Well, why would it make the cut? Because
There's
if it
only
made the
so
cut,
much.
then she may not have texted me this morning.
There's only so much room in an episode, and
Right.
that just barely made it. It just didn't.
And when I tell you, I never said that statement without putting that in front of it.
Always. There's
Because
always.
I was like, oh, I'm going to keep repeating the same thing. She's never lied to me. She's never lied to me. She's never lied to me. And of course,
and it's cut.
nowhere to be found.
Of course.
Snip
And
it
that's
right
the
on out.
context I was talking about. Okay, so I do want to talk about. It's funny because we're not recapping. Obviously, we're not recapping. But
We're so recapping right now.
Okay,
I want
fine.
to know your thoughts on Atlanta.
Okay, because I'm very invested.
And this is not a housewife recap episode, but like lately we've been kind of in it.
I
like,
know.
a little
Well,
bit.
it just started back for you, so I'm
Yeah.
curious how let's talk about like coming back and like
Okay.
rewatching, like watching it back now. But I would say that everyone is like a star.
Yes.
I feel
What
like
do you think about the new ladies?
so I don't like when we were over with Nick, like I don't
Mhm.
have the past few years, so I don't have context.
Right, okay.
I do know obviously familiar faces who are not
Right.
like Portia, Kenya. It's like it's obvious,
Yeah.
very clear. You guys are like.
Do you know who Shamia is? She's a new housewife.
So I only know
And-
her because of her big party and
Okay.
whatever.
All right. So you didn't even realize because she was like a friend, unofficial friend.
Oh, I
and
didn't
a
know that.
friend to the show for many years. She's been with us for a long time.
So she felt new to
So
me.
she's a new housewife. So this is the first time you guys really get to see her life,
her.
which is she is an incredible life.
Yeah, because it feels to like a new viewer of Atlanta, to new like of the modern Atlanta, that she's new because they give her like such an opening package.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's what it feels like. Because I now know like how it works with like how much
Yeah,
airtime.
Shamia's connected to like everyone on the show. They're like literally like calling her the glue to the
Well,
cast
she's
at
very
this point.
wealthy.
Yes, her house is everything.
Whoa.
I walked in, I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
She like throws me under the water. I mean, like she's really like she's got a lot.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think I said in my interview, I was like, you're balling when the house doesn't even come with an address, honey.
I-
so you gotta figure out for yourself how to get there. It's like Sterling Hall. I'm like, okay, how do I find this place?
Was she the one that Drew was kind of shading, like that she's like
the
everyone.
lap dog?
The lap
She
dog.
called her
She called her lap dog.
yeah. Which
It's-
we'll get back to that because that totally triggered me because I was called a lap dog on the show.
Oh,
for a
okay. Because
very long
obviously it's
time.
brand new for me, but I actually liked Shamea.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're friends with her, but
I am.
Okay.
Very much.
I immediately liked her
Mm-hmm.
personality, even though it's like a lot of like the wealth and whatever, because you
Yeah.
know, like that's all part of the show.
Well, Atlanta's very like,
Showy.
I'm rich
Yes.
and I drive a Rolls Royce.
Yes.
honey.
There's a lot
As
of
opposed
Rolls
to
Royce.
Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is like, well, you obviously know I'm rich. I don't have to
Yeah.
state the obvious.
Rich for us is like I drive a Prius because I'm like an
Right.
environmentalist.
Exactly.
That's how we
it's
roll.
different. Atlanta's a little more shiny and a little more glossy.
I would, yeah. So like seeing all the Rolls Royces and stuff. Like,
like
I would,
everyone, I think, has one except me at this point. I've never
Well, you're
had
next.
one. I'm more of a Land Rover, Range Rover kind of girl.
Oh yeah, that sounds pretty poor.
So you can't tell me shit
Jesus.
about my Defender.
You better.
I park it. I pull up to the scene and park it right next to those beautiful Rolls Royces, honey.
But what's so crazy is like your show is so showy. Like we'd
Yeah.
be proud to drive a Defender in LA. Like that's like a cool car. That's like the it car.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like that's crazy to me. But I immediately liked her. I feel like without the stuff,
No.
like I kind of like
She's real.
vibed
She's
her
real, and she
personality.
has real story and real history in Atlanta.
There
and
was
real friendships on the show.
there was a scene with two girls. I think they're the new ones sitting there.
Probably Britt and Kelly.
I did not like that scene.
Oh shit! What were they talking about? What do you remember?
They
what-
were like, girl, and it felt very performative
Mm.
to me. And again, I'm just new, so like, please don't come for me, girls. Like I can't handle you.
She's trying to figure it out.
You're all-
she's-
You're all beautiful.
we
and
don't
whatever.
even know if that's even the scene. But yeah.
But it was like the two of them. They were like, it's the scene where you're supposed to talk about what happened the night before.
yeah.
So, but I just remember feeling like, are they being kind of like loud and catty because that's how they are? Or are they doing it because they are new on the show and that's what they're giving.
Right.
But I have to like watch the show to really like learn who they are right now.
Yeah. Keep watching. I will say that. But I will say we got some loud ones. Some of the new ones are loud and some of the new ones are definitely catty for sure.
Oh, okay. Because that's not my
But watch it play out.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think it's really difficult coming in as a new person for people to really get you right away.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're coming on a TV show, so you can't obviously come and do nothing.
Totally.
So you got to be loud. You got to be catty. You got to be shady. You got to be fun. You got to, you know, do all the things.
Well, that's why
So we have to give them grace because they can't come in and do nothing because then, you know, they'll be like me. And you oh, they're so boring.
No, that's why
they're not loud. They're not catty. Like, why the fuck are they here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm waiting because I know, like, they only got 2 minutes of like that entrance moment. Yeah. So I know what it's like. You're like, wait, I'm so much more than that. Right. So like I totally
and that scene was probably 3 hours and you guys saw, you know.
And they're gonna pick the cattiest moments.
3 minutes.
So I was like, oh, so then I thought, okay, so they're gonna make them the catty ones. Because I know how that works too.
Of course.
So but I find everybody
highlight it. Yeah.
I find everybody on that show a star. Obviously, right now, to me, the biggest star is Portia, because it's really about her and her story. And I totally feel that she's warranted in her upset against Drew about not wanting to film. I mean, her breaking the fourth wall is vital because that was my problem. I didn't know how to navigate that. So none of it made sense. So I just looked like withholding and da-da-da. And if I could have said, excuse me, can we talk about that?
Right.
If I had that strength.
No, the fourth wall is a blessing.
A blessing.
Because it gives us an opportunity to explain things that you guys don't see, don't know about, or have even seen on social media.
I'm very happy that they did that for her too.
I think they kind of have to because the fans are not stupid. The fans are like, but wait a minute. This is happening here. This is happening on social media. What are we missing?
Right. Because if you didn't have the fourth wall, it would have been Portia being upset with Drew hanging out with her ex.
Right.
And now the fourth wall is like, I don't care about that.
Right.
I care about your
filming with my
ex. That's right.
Right.
Because I'm trying to navigate my custody with our children, and we're in a good place. And now this could make us look really bad, which is so much context that would have never happened years ago.
Yeah.
And it would have been this other storyline that was like, oh, she's upset that she's hanging out with her ex, and that like simplifies it. So I really get that. But then also I don't
think she cares about that. I think it's definitely the filming part of it for sure.
Which also I think gives Portia like you can empathize with her and makes her more human, right? Because she is a big character, but actually it's like, you know what? Like I'm in a good place with my child's father, and that's ultimately what I want.
Important.
Oh yeah, and I think it makes her just look like really a serious mom.
Yeah, she doesn't want like she has enough going on with going through her divorce. So to actually just even the potential for like the Drew filming with Dennis to like bring her more discomfort. Right. It's just like why?
But then also the part that's didn't really become fourth wall, but it is like the other part of it is that Drew saying like, I'm just, like I'm a single mom now. I need to pay the bills, whatever. But really what it is like, yes, she's doing that with like, she's trying to pay the bills with Dennis to become, to like launch her singing career, just, move it forward. But actually it's about bringing him to me.
That's what you're saying?
Really what to me is that it's like, I'm bringing him on as my storyline to create more conflict because I need to pay my bills by staying on the show. That's how I feel about it.
Well, that is a nice
that's my
breakdown.
Okay. You can just look and nod.
Yes.
But I feel that way now because it's like you could do that without filming it.
1,000%.
You could launch your music career.
Again, that's the issue.
That's the issue.
Whatever you want to do off these cameras, nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's when you bring the cameras on. When you bring them to the cameras, that's when it's like, wait a minute. Like,
so I feel like Drew knows that would become a conflict in itself, putting him on camera, which then allows her to be on the show longer. No shade about it at all. I'm just like, that's what I see. That is actually, at the end of the day, that paycheck is going to be much bigger than the music thing right now, wherever that goes with her career. And that keeps her on the show. So that's her storyline. And that's what she's referring to is actually taking care of her kids and her family is like, she's a housewife and that's a real career.
Right. Yeah. Well, I can totally understand why you would see it that way 100%. And I think the takeaway for me is don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just don't go there. Like Drew is so talented. She is such a talented singer.
Oh yeah. I like and I watch
Actress.
all her stuff.
Like all the things.
Yeah.
So I feel like, especially with her still building friendships on the show, because it hasn't been the easiest for Drew on the show, to make that choice, that specific choice did not help her at all.
I know,
To
but I
film with
feel like
someone's-
if we're really going there,
Yeah.
like, and again, like Drew and I follow each other. Like I really liked her at BravoCon.
Yeah.
We met. Like there's not
Yeah, she's
many
a sweetheart.
housewives that I follow
Yeah.
and follow back. Like I really connected with her.
Yeah.
We sat together during one of the Watch
Sweetie
Happens.
pie.
I really
Mhm.
adore her. I think she's sweet.
Yeah.
But if I'm just being really like transparent how I feel about it, it's like yes, it didn't help her,
No.
right, to
Mm-mm.
develop deeper friendships. But
No, it didn't help her to bring on a castmate's
that's what I mean, to
baby
help her
daddy
friend,
to the show.
how she
Like,
looks.
with everything else that she's been navigating. Like I felt like that was just something that she should have known was not going to.
But
Like
if
even
she
if Portia didn't have
didn't-
an issue with it, it would be like.
But Cynthia, if she
it's-
didn't do that, then what is going to be the topic? She can't talk about her music. She can't highlight that because that's her producer, right?
Yeah.
That's what she
Yeah.
like. This is pushing it to the forefront.
Yeah.
And so,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, what are you using this platform for?
Right. Well, she's still going through her divorce.
Do you want to talk about? Does she want to talk about? Maybe that's what she doesn't want to talk about. Her divorce. She doesn't want to talk about that. That doesn't
Yeah.
benefit her or her family.
I don't know.
Everyone's got to pick.
I don't know what her
their-
mindset was. I just knew that I have to believe that she knew a certain amount of heat was going to come with making that choice.
100%.
1,000%.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
That was a choice,
Yeah.
and she made that choice.
and we have to comment.
Yeah.
We have to like whatever you bring to the show. We have to sit, get all gussied up in our
Yes.
nice little outfits, and cross our legs and give our opinion.
I know you can't tell us what happened down the road, but maybe you can give us insight. Do you think she regrets doing that?
I think after watching Portia's reaction, I would imagine that she does.
Oh, okay.
I would. I definitely would, because she was
Portia's
clearly
upset. Yeah.
She was very upset.
I know you haven't finished the episode, but it shows Portia and Dennis together talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very,
I saw
very
a clip.
clear.
Portia gets really emotional about it. But listen, like when you have a child with someone, it doesn't matter if you guys ever spin the block or ever together in any way other than co-parenting.
Yeah.
You're never getting rid of this person.
No.
This person is like connected to you for life.
Right.
You want that space to be as simple and uncomplicated as possible.
Yes.
You do. Like you don't want to have to worry about fighting like 6 other people, and then your baby daddy's
No.
filming on the show with one of them. It's like, come on, it's a lot.
And I think also that we should, I feel like this is always a comment people ignore, like why you're talking about like the women, like why is he doing it?
Yeah, that's a great question.
He's making that choice. It takes a lot to go, like, you got to make the schedule. You got to get mic'd up. You got to,
well, it just starts to just get so messy, because if you can bring my baby daddy on the show and film with them, guess what? Now I can film with your baby daddy.
Well, guess what? That makes that's
So
the
here
messy
we
part.
go.
Yes.
Now we're gonna go down that rabbit
Yes.
hole.
And by the way, we're only on episode 2. So I don't even know what's going to
keep watching.
happen.
You guys better do not sleep on Atlanta season 16. Keep
Yeah.
that popcorn ready, because this is just the beginning.
The show did very well.
Yeah.
Your ratings are very high.
Yeah, and
People
then-
are interested.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to point out that they didn't even include the ratings that you saw doesn't include the streaming, which is what
Right.
everyone does.
Yeah.
Like if we did that well, which is live, people just watching it live, which who watches TV live?
No,
at
your
this
numbers
point?
are big. People
Well,
really
with
care.
the streaming,
But it
Atlanta's in a
feels,
really good spot.
it feels very real.
It is.
That's a thing. Like
It
when I
is.
watch it, I'm like, that's why, like we were talking before, it's like fourth wall is so important for this topic
Yes.
because it's all about, like, it's at the end of the day, filming is a job.
yeah.
So it's all part of that. And the kids are real. I mean,
Mhm.
their child is a real person
Oh,
that they
yeah.
have to navigate co-parenting.
Yeah, and it's always tricky when kids are
Oof,
involved.
yeah.
Oh, it's so tricky when kids are involved, because for me, like protecting Noelle in that space, even now, is like a full-time job.
Right.
Like you just don't want to ever put your kids in a position where any of this stuff can come back to hurt them.
Yeah.
In any way.
Yeah.
And guess what? These little kids, they're like 5 and 6 now. They're going to grow up and they're probably going to be watching these shows.
Of
So,
course.
And then they're going to have a lot of questions. So you have to be very mindful about the things that you choose to bring on the show. Like bring your life and all the things. But I think the choices that you make, it's not about making just short-term in the moment choices. You got to think like long-term life choices, like how this is going to affect not only your life, but your kids' life if they're involved.
Well, what I really loved about this episode was that, and it's so fun, like it's the first time I've been watching Housewives really since I left.
How does that feel for you? Being like kind of like on the outside looking in a little bit?
This is easy for me to watch because
it has nothing to do with
it's not that to me, but it's also multi-pronged. Like I get to watch you and support you and kind of see what you were doing the last few months. And like, so like, and knowing that like as a friend, I don't have to worry so much about how bad it gets for you, like as a housewife.
Because it does affect me, trust me.
Oh, I see,
like,
I know. And you're just a friend of,
like
which is
the whole thing, you know, with Chanel on top of Drew. I'm like, not Chanel and Drew in one day. I could not.
Yeah.
So that's why it was just really tough for me this morning. But I'm feeling a lot better, by the way.
Good. But I'm enjoying it because what I was really liked about this episode is that you really felt for Portia and you felt for Drew.
Yeah.
You could see Drew's really struggling as a single mom and really wants to do right for them. Yeah. And also Portia wanting to co-parent right and whatever. And it's like, these are real life things and they're both in different situations, but ultimately want to protect their kids.
Yeah.
And like, that's all 100%. We want. And so I just really liked that, like, there was balance of like, I mean, Atlanta argues and they go balls out. But it's such a human story that they're going through. So I'm really enjoying the episode, and I really enjoy.
It's great conversation. Like
it is,
you know, just hearing like I was so curious to hear what your thoughts would be on the show because you're like in a whole nother world from Atlanta.
Totally,
I'm in Atlanta, you know, most of the time. So you know, did she cross the line? Should that boundary had been set, like, you know, who's really right, who's really wrong, like would you cross that line? It's good. It's good conversation, which ultimately makes good TV.
If you ask me, nothing stinks more than a woman accusing you of salacious behavior over a Michelin-starred meal, except maybe body odor. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about Lume Whole Body Deodorant. Unlike certain other deodorants, Lume is powered by mandelic acid to control odor in a new way.
Lume delivers outrageous 72-hour odor control everywhere from the pits of your feet and, yes, even your privates. In fact, it was patients concerned about private part odor that originally inspired the OBGYN who invented Lume.
Fast forward 6 years, and her game-changing whole body deodorant has now earned over 300,000 five-star reviews from people like me who love feeling confident from head to toe.
You know, we're all busy girls, always running around with somewhere to be. But with Lume, I never have to worry about sweat anywhere. Pits, boobs, behind the knee, any crevice that sweats. I'm covered, which is an incredible feeling.
Plus, with multiple different options like solid deodorant sticks, sweat control deodorant, and spray deodorant, Lume has something for everyone. And get this, Lume just came out with a brand new scent, Vanilla Bliss.
Oh, I love it. It's the coziest mix of vanilla bean and sandalwood. Sweet, but not too sweet, you know. And I heard that even though it just came out, it's already on its way to being one of their most popular scents.
Ooh, tea. I love it. Lume's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping.
As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lume products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack.
Use code HumbleBrag for 15% off your first purchase at LumeDeodorant.com. That's code HumbleBrag at LumeDeodorant.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Lume.
Remember that 2025 vision board that we made a couple months ago? What did you put on yours?
Oh, you know I went all in. Better sleep, glowing skin, and finally fixing my gut health. Big wellness era over here.
Same. Spring is here, and I'm locking in on those goals. And honestly, Cymbiotika is making it so easy.
Right? I've been taking their glutathione, and my skin has never looked better. It's like a detox for my whole body, clearing out all the junk that slows me down.
Okay, but you know what's been life-changing for me? Their vanilla cream magnesium L-threonate. I was waking up groggy, struggling to focus. Now I wake up refreshed, ready to go.
That's the thing. Cymbiotika makes healthy habits simple. Whether it's energy, digestion, immune support, or mood, they've got something for every goal. And their liquid packets, perfect for when you're on the go.
And the best part? No seed oils, preservatives, or artificial junk. Just real, high-quality ingredients that actually work. It feels so good knowing I'm putting the right stuff in my body.
Same. Finally, a brand that makes taking supplements feel like a treat.
Cymbiotika. Wellness made simple.
Go to Cymbiotika.com/humble for 20% off and free shipping.
That's Cymbiotika.com/humble for 20% off plus free shipping.
So I had it on this morning. I was just getting ready and I go, oh, Rob's like, what are you watching? I'm like, I'm watching Cynthia's show. And he goes, I said, oh, I'm going to go one day to Atlanta. I'm going to go. I've never been to Atlanta.
You've never been to Atlanta?
Trust me, it's
okay,
so
well,
weird.
That's just wrong.
I know, because I keep thinking I want to just like fly there like next week. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to Atlanta. I'm like, and one day I'm gonna film and like just sit there. And he goes, can I come? That's what Rob said.
Yes,
He's like,
Rob wants to come too. Yeah, I love it.
It was like the fight scene, and he's like, I want to come. Like he's like he would die. He would love it so much. He's so invested.
It's so funny because there's so many franchises of Housewives, but I just feel like Atlanta's special. There's like.
Oh yeah,
the Real Housewives of Atlanta is just so different from any of the other ones.
It is, and like I said, everyone is.
Why do you think it's different? Because I'm on it and I'm in it, but like people look at us in a very, very different light. What do you think it is?
I would say as an outsider, and I can't really say this about Beverly Hills because I was too in it, so I don't know about that. But from the other franchises, all the other franchises feel like an ensemble. Where Atlanta, everyone feels like a star together. It's still an ensemble, but it's sort of like when I see Salt Lake, they all make sense together. Right. But I kind of see them as a group. Right. I don't see them so much individually. Like,
got it.
Like on Atlanta, everyone
like separately.
Oh yeah,
we shine separately as well as collectively.
100%.
Yeah,
and it's unlike any other franchise. So like even New York, old New York, which I loved, you know, even though they're all very individual, like, and I love those characters.
Yeah, but it was the group.
It's
dynamic.
A group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you guys can each hold your own show. Like you guys can all have a spinoff. So Portia, all my connection is, a couple of years ago, we both did a character for Zootopia.
Yes.
So that was my only little Portia.
Did you guys actually meet?
No, because it was during COVID, so we had to go to like Disney separately.
So who have you met from Atlanta other than me? I know you met Kenya.
I met Kenya. Yeah, I did the women in film thing with her.
Yep.
Candy.
Yep. Love Candy.
Yeah, Candy was
Love
cool.
me some Candy. I just spoke to her the other day.
Candy. She must think it's so crazy. Has she even mentioned the fact that we're doing this pod together?
You know what? We haven't talked about it, but we're gonna have dinner when I get back to Atlanta.
Okay, because I think she must think it's so
definitely
random.
for some one-on-one time.
Because last time I saw her was in Vegas at Usher's concert.
Yeah,
we sat together with her daughter.
Oh, that's cute.
Who's adorable.
I love it. Yeah, I love
I've never met Nene.
You never met Nene?
No.
Well,
I will always remember. I will remember the first time I met Nene because I know I have never met her.
Yeah, I just spoke to her the other day. We were texting back and forth.
I would like to meet Nene.
There may be a situation
soon
where she may be coming on the pod.
Yeah. Okay, love it.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out.
Do you think she and I will get along?
I think, hands down, it will be one of the funniest. Like Nene is like, even though we've been like through hell and back, she is like definitely one of the funniest people.
I kind of want her to make fun of me.
Oh,
she will, right?
But you know what it is? Like she's such a big personality. Like you're gonna expect her to be like what you see on TV, but she's really like that and not that.
Okay.
So
I
don't know what that experience is going to be like when you meet her, but I do see a room very soon that you guys may find yourselves in together.
I'm very excited. Okay, who else is on Atlanta?
Have you met Drew?
Yeah, I met Drew. Remember, we follow each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know you met.
We met at BravoCon and we sat together there, and she's so cute.
Yeah, so cute. Who else is on? Shamia, you never met Shamia?
No.
Okay. And then new ladies, you haven't met them.
Who was on Atlanta?
Have you ever met Marlo?
Oh, I love Marlo.
Yeah.
Marlo and I share the same birthday.
Game. Oh my God. Aquarius.
Yes. We are like connected and
you guys are so different.
I know, but I just love, she's like fashion.
I think she's like your alter ego, who you would be. Like, for sure.
That is Marlo.
Totally your alter ego.
Yes, because like we connected because BravoCon, we were part of the same group. They're called like Glam Girls or whatever.
Mhm.
And we spent the whole time together. We sat together and we connected and we still text each other. And like, I just think Marlo's like,
No, Marlo's great.
she's my alter ego. That is correct.
I could see a world where she definitely comes back to the show, but I just think she like did such a great job in the friend space.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, however she comes back, I think she definitely,
she's going to come back.
Fun memories.
And she does the
show, even when she's coming for me on the show. But we still have fun together. Like,
see, I like this crew, but I don't have to film with them.
What about Sheree? Have you ever met
I really like Sheree.
Have you met Sheree?
Yes, I met Sheree.
Yeah.
She and I follow. Yes, I really like Sheree.
Great. I feel like she'll be back at some point too.
For sure. She's like the comeback queen, right? She's always in and out. And she's like a forever housewife to me.
For sure.
So yeah, I feel like I've met a lot of Atlanta girls.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing someone.
Oh, you're gonna get in trouble.
I know. Phaedra. Have you ever met Phaedra?
I only saw Phaedra at dancing.
Oh, you have to meet Phaedra.
She's so intimidating.
Yeah, I talked to her for like an hour yesterday.
She's someone.
I told her she was discussing the pod, so I was just like trying to let her know because I didn't know. I was like questioning everything. I was like, did I defend her enough?
Yes, you know,
I felt like I was so busy trying to defend myself. To be honest, I always want to like protect my castmates to some degree, especially
100%.
on this because, you know, just like any of the other housewives, we want them to feel comfortable coming on the show. And I don't want us, humble brag, to be known for like just dragging housewives for no reason, you know?
I think we've proven that already.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it's important to say. Yeah. But Phaedra to me is like, and by the way, like I said, they're all like everyone you've mentioned, that's why Atlanta is so specific. But like, I think Phaedra is someone that I'd want to have dinner with.
Oh yeah.
And I missed an opportunity. I was going to with Ryan and I couldn't go out that night. She to me, I think would just make me laugh
hilarious.
all night.
You will die. We will have dinner together.
I don't think
she's going to be able to come for my party tomorrow. She was trying to get here, but she came to my Weight Watchers dinner. Like, you know, the whole cast supported me. Portia couldn't come because she was doing press in New York for Housewives. And she literally was like, when I land, I can come by. I was like, girl,
we're transitioning
you've been doing press
out
all day. You don't have to come. It's fine.
Because we have to talk about what we've done this last week because we've both done a lot.
Oh, yeah, we do have to transition. So long story short, do you feel like Atlanta's back?
Yes, I am. And I'm a newbie in it. So you have an extra invested? I'm fully invested.
Okay.
I'm fully invested.
And
that's why I was late.
Okay.
Because I couldn't stop watching it. I was like, and then it was like, you know, all the, like they do the kind of like, you hear the background of, you know, Portia and Dennis talking. And I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
No, but I love it. And it's really exciting because Atlanta was the #1 forever.
Have you met Portia? Oh, you didn't meet. You said
no,
you
we
didn't meet, but you guys did.
Just because of that. That's the only connection. But I think Atlanta's top. I mean, it's just so. And remember when we were with Brittany?
Yeah,
she was like looking at me like, you guys are all silly. But Atlanta's where it's
like, this is Atlanta, baby.
Beverly Hills is child's play.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. You know what? I'm excited to watch Housewives for fun again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think there's so much, you know, craziness in the world. I think people just really want to laugh.
Yeah, they need it.
And, you know, again, everyone's here for fun and shade, but I don't think people enjoy when things go too dark or too toxic or too uncomfortable, because then you're like, wait a minute, nobody wants to watch anyone be bullied. Nobody wants to watch, you know, anyone be attacked by like 5 other people or any of those things. So
well, we have to still watch your show because I think we're just getting started.
Well, okay, well, let it play out. Let it play out. You know, again, season 16 has lots of twists and turns, but I think it was I went into the season very intentional about just being fun and just being the voice of reason and just really checking in on ladies and giving my little 2 cents. Or
actually, that's what I want to end on.
You know,
I want to end on that. How do you feel about going back now? Now you're officially back. Now you're officially 2 episodes in. How is it different than when you were before? Is it different?
I think going back as an official friend of the show is different for me because I don't have to, it's less stressful for me.
So is it less stressful watching it now too?
Well, I mean, I do. So I'm like so involved with the ladies this season, and I do go on the trips and I do confessionals. It's not like I'm just in the background as a friend.
Right.
Like I'm kind of in it.
Okay.
Like I do scenes with these ladies, which for me, I think the idea of me being a friend is great, but it's not always easy because I'll go and sit with this, one housewife and they'll tell me what's going on. And then I go with the person who they're talking about and get their side of the story. And then I kind of have to figure out how I feel about what's happening
Right.
and still be cool with both people who are trying to kill each other.
So you're navigating the show differently now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, right. You're still
and I
very
really
involved.
I came on as a friend, and I really want to leave as a friend to everyone. I really hope that I was somehow able to be a friend to everyone and still be like fun and entertaining and like throw my little, like I said, little sparkle on the fire every now and then without burning down the house, because I have no interest in that.
I'm guessing there's some people in the cast who are not friends right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Most definitely.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For sure.
I'm enjoying as a watcher, and even though I know what it's like being there, it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's good. I think Atlanta, I think the season is refreshing and different. And again, I think the word that comes to mind for me is unpredictable.
Yeah.
Which I think like we watch it and we're like, okay, we've seen this shit before. We already know what's going to happen. You watch like one episode, we're like, we know where this is going. We'll just like binge it and call it a day.
Correct.
As opposed to like, wait a minute, I actually may need to clock in every Sunday night and watch this. Yeah.
I'm invested.
Well, good.
Okay, tell me about the party, because I saw the pictures.
Yeah.
I had a little FOMO.
You did? Oh, don't even talk to me about FOMO.
I did. I genuinely did.
Do not talk to me about FOMO when I literally almost had to mute your posts, like from the boat. I was like, first of all, it just felt like you were there forever.
I was there for a long time.
Like the first 2 or 3 days, I was like, I love this for Crystal. And then like the 4th day, I was like, looking a little too happy. And then the 5th day, I was like, and she actually has nerve to like look relaxed. Like, I don't even think she's picking up her phone. How dare she be having that much fun and be that disconnected, where she's really in it. And it looked great.
It was so great. Okay, I'll talk about it, but then I do want to hear about
Weight Watchers. So, I've talked about being on my Weight Watchers journey for 2.5 months. You know what? It's
looking good, girl.
It's moving, but it's a slow roll. It's a slow burn, literally.
But by the way, it should be slow, because that's real weight.
Because it's like lifetime. Like this is like, it's not an overnight quick, like I'm going to drop, 20 pounds in 2 weeks. Like,
no, because if you do, you'll gain it right back.
Absolutely. And that was my, that's why I was very intentional when it came to choosing Weight Watchers as, a program that I wanted to be on, because I knew I needed to like just have a healthier conversation with food. Yeah. Like now, like even if I'm bad, I know I'm being bad. Right. And then I know I have to be good for the next 4 days. Like sometimes you just have to have your 2 slices of pizza and move on with your life. Right. Just to get it over with. But then I know what the next day looks like for me. Right. Like, okay, now I got to go back to my salads. Now I got to go back to my soups and just like, low sodiums. I've really still been, the things that I've been really diligent about as I have a tequila shot, but this is okay for me because I'm not putting sugar with it, is if I do have to have alcohol, I actually don't even really want it that much anymore. But if I do, it's definitely just straight. Like no more margaritas. And if I do, that's like a super treat. And then when I do, it's like, oh my God, it's so sweet. Like it just, everything affects my body differently now that I've kind of like, I'm just very mindful and more aware of my portions and what I'm actually eating. And just actually thinking about just thinking about what I'm actually putting in my mouth. That's half of it, is thinking about it. Like I see the food now. Yeah. Like before I'd just be like, and then be like, oh, I don't know why I'm gaining all this weight. But now I'm like, oh, bread doesn't come to the table. And even if it does, I don't even see it anymore. Wow. And before I'd be like, going in. So
that was not my experience. Okay, so they threw you a party?
So anyway, so they threw me a party in
Because I did
Atlanta.
see everybody was there. Everyone looked so gorgeous.
Yes, I was so excited for my cast of Atlanta to come and support me, because this is like something that's off camera. These ladies are busy. They have a million things going on.
It's a big deal.
To like, I mean, it was like a 2-hour dinner, maybe like 2.5 hours. And they literally stayed until the end. Everyone was there except Portia. And that was only because she was doing press in New York for, the premiere of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she was texting saying, hey, I'm on a flight coming back. And, is it still happening? Should I stop by? And I was like, no, girl, please go and just get some rest. Because I know how hard the press days can be. But the support meant everything, which is why I'm like, Drew, who was there to support me, I love you, girl. Aww. That interview was shot like a million years ago. And I really, again, just didn't really put an exclamation point on anything. I just, just had to like put a little sparkler on there. But I love you. But yeah, it was great.
And it was just celebrate you.
It was to celebrate like my
You and the
journey,
program, yeah.
my journey, I made a speech and just, me, I'm very honest and transparent. I'm nowhere near to the 50 pounds that I started off this journey thinking I could lose in 3 months. I'm not there yet, but for me, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Totally.
I want to continue to do it. It's fallen off a little slower than I thought. Now, they put me in touch with one of the doctors there that may give me maybe some pills to kind of help me burn, because I'm like, I just turned 58. Like
Right.
the shit, just no matter how much I cut back and how mindful I am with food now, my metabolism
Yeah.
is like a snail.
There's
Like,
some
it
great
moves
fat burner
so
medications and all that stuff.
So we're like seeing what the next phase is now that I've been diligent about doing it with portion control. Like, what is the next phase for
Right.
me? So
Well, I think
what
that's
I'm
so important is to know
considering.
that you do plateau. That's so
Yes.
normal. Your body needs
Like
to
at
get
first it
used
was
to.
like, oh, I've lost like 15 pounds. And then it
Always.
was like, and nothing else is moving yet.
But you cannot get discouraged. You have
And I
to
was starting
pivot.
to a little bit.
I know you
yeah.
were. But you got to keep
Yeah.
going and also allow yourself to settle in that weight. And by the way, it's so easy for me to say because I was texting you this whole week. I'm like eating too much and I feel horrible and I'm disgusting now and whatever. It's like, it's just, we all
And
have
you
to
have
go
not
through it.
gained a pound, by the way. You look great.
Like I have, but it's okay. I'm gonna, whatever. I don't know. It's like, you just have to remember that that's your body settling
Mhm.
in. It's normal. And like, you just keep restarting.
Yeah.
You just keep
Yeah.
restarting because it's
Just keep
a
going.
long journey.
And I don't want to like stress myself out with this. Like, I want to lose more weight.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not at a healthy weight that I want to be.
Right.
And
Well,
but
you
I'm
look
not going to
great
make
at
myself
this
crazy.
phase.
I'm not going to make myself crazy. And I think that the great thing with Weight Watchers is they give me a little bit of wiggle room where they're like, hey, it's okay. It's normal to like have 2 weeks where nothing's moving.
Yeah.
You may get a little frustrated. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And then you just have to stay consistent and just
Well, that's
keep
great. So
going.
they give you like the support.
Absolutely.
Right. They're talking you
Absolutely.
through it.
Yes.
Reminding you of that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes.
You're not like on your own, just eating.
No,
Yeah.
no. Like I had a really long call with the nurse the other day, my dietitian. It was like, I just feel like I'm really making an effort here, and I feel like nothing's happening. Like at first, it was like so quick, and
Yeah.
then just like, and I could tell in my face, I could tell in my clothes, and now I feel like I'm kind of at a plateau now. And she said it was totally normal, and that they would look into other things to kind of just help me out a little bit.
Great. Great.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, keep us posted on that.
I will.
Okay, my trip.
Yeah,
I know you want to.
your trip. Let's go. Let me get comfortable.
I want you to look like I was on my trip. All right. So I got home at 1 last night.
Yes.
And I'm going to just preface this that I was completely absurd thinking I was a little bit stressed about going away too long. I was like, what am I going to do on a boat for a whole week? I'm going to get bored. How many times can I go jet skiing? It's so, I know. Okay. So I'm just prefacing, I'm so annoying. I'm an annoying person.
Oh my God.
I'm the most annoying housewife to exist.
Yeah, you're the most annoying housewife
I'm
for
the most
sure.
annoying. But I was super excited because, wealthy people go on private boats. I've never done that before. I've never been asked to go on one.
So walk me through that.
Okay.
Like, so when you say private boat, so you fly in and you guys meet up at
the dock.
At the dock.
Yes. So how people's boats work. Like
where did you fly into?
I flew into Costa Rica.
Okay.
Into Liberia.
Okay.
Like the main city.
Got it.
And then we all flew together.
Okay.
But how it works, whatever, I air quote that, is that whether you're chartering, you have a boat, the boat itself, it has a manifest and the owners create it. So you're going to go up through the Panama Canal and it's going to go to Asia. Or it's going to go to
below
Europe.
Deck. So it's kind of like that.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I did below deck with my mom and my daughter and my girlfriend Claudia Jordan and her girlfriend. And it was like, it was only us. And they like totally
and it was
took care of us.
Was it like fancy?
Yeah, they gave us whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And we
like
just
that.
relaxed and did our thing.
It's like that. But there's no cameras.
But no cameras.
With no cameras.
Yeah. Well, we were filming. So very different.
Yes. Okay. And people were commenting on my posts saying, are you filming for Below Deck? Like,
oh, that's so funny.
People thought that's what it was.
You know what? We should be filming for Below Deck. I think Humble Brag should be. We should have an episode of Below Deck. Let's just put that out there into the universe.
I'm very good at being a boat guest now. I know how to do it.
Yeah, you did it very well.
I did very well. So I think it's similar. It's like a charter, but
Yeah.
obviously that show, I assume that it's dramatic with the crew.
With the crew. The
Okay.
drama's with the crew, not with the guest.
Oh my God, heaven.
I was
How
like,
do you get that job?
I call it my gift from Bravo. For like,
Where did you
for
go?
doing Atlanta for so long, we went to the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The weather was terrible.
Oh, no.
So we had to spend a lot of time on the boat. It was like freezing. It was like crazy, but we just had such a great time.
And there's like a chef and
whatever we wanted.
okay, that's what it is.
It was incredible.
That's it, with no cameras.
That was my huge thank you from Bravo. Like this free paid trip with my mom, who's never experienced anything like that. Noelle, who lives for any moment like that. It was
I think
incredible.
everyone lives for moments like
I would
that.
go on Below Deck every season.
Oh my God. Okay, let's put a word in.
Yeah. Call us.
Okay. So how it works, and I don't want to give too much detail about my friend because that's like her personal thing,
Yeah.
but this is a boat that she has owned for many years. And it's a sailboat.
Oh, okay.
So it's an incredibly gorgeous, giant sailboat. It's not your average sailboat. There's multiple bedrooms.
So you guys were on the boat the whole time?
The whole time.
Never like stopped and checked into a hotel?
Oh, no.
Like
you sleep.
just boat life.
Boat life. Which the part I was nervous about was getting seasick. Because I have,
did it happen?
As I get older, my first day I felt it. I took Dramamine, and then all of a sudden I was one with the water. I was one with the waves. It was
dolphins. I think I saw you swimming with dolphins.
Okay, I gotta tell you that was insane. So anyways, I was nervous about it, but I was nervous just about like, I'm going away from the kids so long. I usually do like 3-day trips, not like, 8 days. But nonetheless, I immediately said yes, because like, this is gonna be insane.
No.
And my girlfriend who owns the boat is just like such a beautiful host, and she's so fun. She's like all about fun.
And
so
this
I'm
is
like,
Leanne, right?
no, this is my friend Maria.
Okay,
the other
Maria.
one.
Was Leanne there? Why do I feel like
Leanne was there.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's how I know Maria.
Okay.
So, but Maria I go to Disneyland with all the time. She's just like lives life like she's like a child, but in the best way. She's so much fun. So anyway, so she invited 8 of us. So she was the 9th. It was 9 in total. And I always remember seeing her on this boat through her Instagram because she traveled the world during COVID. They just got out of town and they just left. So she's like, my birthday, let's go to Costa Rica. So the boat meets us in Costa
I wonder
Rica.
if she ever got COVID, if she's like left and traveled.
Actually, she probably didn't because she's isolated to the
Yeah,
boat, right?
yeah.
So we all took the same flight, that overnight flight that everybody was in first. Oh,
Were you
people like my
first?
tips. No, I was in coach. Remember, I was the only one.
Yes. Oh, when I tell you, I was reading the comments, you're going to have everyone in coach flying.
Everybody.
Girlfriend. Like, they're like, not another first class.
Let me tell you.
Comfort seat is being booked.
My girlfriend so we got on the plane, and of course, I check in my bag with Leanne, who's in first class, because I don't want to pay for the $35.
Right.
So she grabs my bag.
Right,
She knows the
of
deal.
course.
She knows the deal.
Right. We all know.
Yes. So we all met up. It's late. It's 10:30 at night. It's an 11 o'clock flight. It's an overnight flight. But my carry-on, I was like,
wait a minute. I just thought about something. You don't get like, there's coach and then there's basic. Like, I feel like the basic is where you can't even check a bag. Is that what you do?
Yes, that's what we talked about. That's the basic.
I thought you meant Maine. I've been doing Maine. I didn't even go that last level.
So you're still part of the main seating area, but you don't get a check bag. So it's even more discounted, and you don't get to pick your seat. So you just get whatever's available. Maine is like this. Okay, so like, yes, Maine is regular coach, and that's a ticket price.
And you get to check a bag.
And includes like a check bag probably.
Yeah.
And a carry-on.
Okay, it does.
And then basic economy, which is a little bit lower, which is like, you have to like toggle on the screen. Like, am I willing to do basic? It's like the cheapest ticket. You don't get to pick a seat. So they'll give you a last minute seat.
So when you get to the airport,
you check in, they give you a seat.
Okay, then they give you a seat.
It's going to be like 57B.
Right.
Or whatever.
Definitely below 40. I mean, I'm sorry.
It's just going to be any seat.
Not below 40. Definitely.
Yeah, below.
Behind 40.
Behind 40.
Yeah.
Or just any seat. You could get row 8.
Oh.
It's just whatever's
it's
left
like
over.
It's a lottery.
It's a lottery.
You never know.
Never know.
Okay.
And you don't get a check bag.
So, but if you're not traveling with someone who can check your bag,
no, you just
have to pay.
Yeah, you have
to check the bag. So then they say, okay, you're in basic. You got to pay to check your bag.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's rare that I do basic. Basics, like, let's say I go to Vegas, like, for the night, and I need like a backpack. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the cheapest ticket.
Okay. I didn't realize that. I thought I was doing good in Maine. Okay.
No, look, baby steps for you. I'm proud of you. The fact that you're even out of business class is like a big deal. I'm hardcore. Okay. So,
yeah, you are.
But I knew all of them were going, I knew one of them was going first class at least. So I'm going to put my bag on yours. So, and I will say I made a slight adjustment to my overhead thing. So, but I'll explain that. So we're all there, we're all gathering, everyone's wearing their Gucci first class, whatever. And I'm like, I'm in coach, guys, whatever. However, because I knew the seats were just regular old plane. So I knew their seats were not that impressive.
So they weren't on sleeper beds or anything?
No. When you go to like the Caribbean, whatever, those planes are not good.
You're not getting a sleeper bed.
So I was well prepared. I brought 2 blankets. That's my whole carry-on is just 2 blankets and a pillow. So, and I brought a real pillow.
Oh,
and I brought like
a real
pillow, like a regular pillow. And I did 2 cover cases. I did Max's Harry Potter sheets.
Yeah.
And so no one wants to like take my stuff.
Right.
And I always have these like, you get like blankets from like movie premieres, or like you use those cheap ones. Yeah. So I have a bunch of those. Yeah. So I had one for the bottom. Okay. To kind of block the, the seat belts, the metal.
Oh, yeah.
And I had one on top.
Oh, okay. So you like cover your seat.
Yes.
And then
use like one cozy.
On top. Got it.
So here's the thing.
You make like a little bed. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So what I did was I kept going. I could tell based on the seat map, because when you go buy your ticket, it shows you the empty seats. Okay. I knew this flight was empty. I knew I had my own row.
You had your own row.
I knew it.
Okay.
So I went up to the gate agent. I said, hi. And I could tell he knew Housewives. So he's probably thinking like I'm even crazier. Right. But I said, if there's any, I don't care what row you put me in, I would love my own row. And he was like, I row for you 15. And it's an exit row. Not
an exit row. I love an exit row.
But there was maybe 10 people in the back with us. But first class, of course, is full.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, I got my row and I'm good. I'm going to be good, guys. I'll see you guys in the morning. So we check in. I walk by my friends. I wave at them. They're clapping for me. They're laughing at me.
They're
in their seats, but they're scrunched at midnight. I go to the back. I lay my blanket down. I sit in the middle seat, just put my seatbelt on, take off, lay it down, put my pillow, put my blanket on, and I slept the entire flight.
So you basically made yourself a sleeper bed.
I made a sleeper bed for my $180 one-way ticket.
That is fucking brilliant.
And they all paid like, I think $1,400.
And how much was your ticket?
$180.
I'm done.
So
$180.
Yeah. So we get off the plane. They're miserable.
I can't even get an Uber for $180.
Their backs are hurting. They're they're cranky. And they're like, we came back and saw you sleeping. One of my friends, Kelly, she was like, I wanted to wake you up because I want to slap you across the face. Like you were just out the whole night. They're all miserable. And I'm like,
do you take anything? And are you like a sleeper?
No. I'll tell you why.
How do you sleep on the plane?
Because I lay down. I was like so comfortable.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm not a sleeper. I don't take a sleeping pill on the plane. I do take it when I land for like international trips. Because in case something happens on the plane, I want to be able to wake up.
Right.
So I think
that's true. That's so important that you said that, because I had a friend who took a pill. They were boarding the plane, took the pill and got on the plane, and then they had to get off of the plane because
you're done.
That was like something happening with the plane, and he was literally like out of it the whole time.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You have got to be well in the air. And even that's scary because sometimes flights turn around. But I don't do that. I want to tell you about the entire trip, but I feel like we don't have enough time.
No.
So let's do that next episode.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you just like live in my coach coziness.
Keep me in suspense.
That's right. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. I think that this was a tough day for you. But I think you also can put in perspective that at the end, you know who you are. And
it's not always going to be unicorns and rainbows.
No. But you can get there.
And this is the stuff. You know what? I'm just glad that life is just lifing. I'm here.
Yeah.
58 feels good. And God is like, you know what? I have so much more to teach you, Miss Bailey.
That's right.
I'm going to put you in uncomfortable situations and watch you just
struggle.
Still like struggle, but still just try to be right.
Do you have a humble brag today?
I do, actually. My humble brag is that I am humbled to admit that I'm not perfect. and admit that I make mistakes and admit that I don't always get it right. I don't have all of the answers. I am flawed like everyone else. But my brag is I always want to feel. I always want to apologize. I always want to be intentionally good, even if it don't work out for me. I always want to not only lead with grace, but get grace.
Nice.
That's it.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Mine is I bought a Coach ticket, but I slept better than everybody. That's my brag.
That's a good tagline, too. That's a good humble brag tagline. That's hilarious. I love it. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much for your patience. And speaking of grace, your grace. We love you guys. And again, I just pride myself on being a part of this amazing podcast with Crystal, just to have great conversations, laugh, share tips. Make sure you guys are buying basic tickets when you fly, that you're not overspending, all of the things, and just having fun.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, guys.
mwah.
Bye.